Karen claimed I couldn't use my cabin, forgot I'm legally allowed to own 12 properties in state. The air was crisp, the kind of autumn chill that made the pines around Lakeview County smell sharper. My cabin, a modest cedar retreat I'd built with my own hands, sat quietly at the edge of the forest. I just pulled into the gravel driveway, ready for a weekend of solitude, when Karen's voice sliced through the calm like a chainsaw. "You don't belong here," she shrieked from her gleaming SUV, parked crookedly across my property line. Karen, the self-appointed queen of Lakeview's Homeowners Association, stood there in a pristine cashmere coat, her manicured nails gripping a clipboard like a weapon. She claimed my cabin violated some obscure zoning rule, demanding I vacate immediately or face legal action. Her smirk said she'd already won. The audacity was breathtaking. She didn't know I owned 12 properties in this state, all perfectly legal, and I wasn't about to let her bully me off my land. Karen's crusade wasn't new. She'd terrorized Lakeview for years, wielding her HOA bylaws like a dictator's scepter. She'd fined old Mr. Jenkins for planting unauthorized roses, harassed the Nguyen family over their mailbox color, and now she'd set her sights on me. Her accusation? My cabin was unpermitted, a blight on her vision of a perfect community. She waved a stack of papers, claiming she'd reported me to the county. "You'll be out by Monday," she sneered, her eyes glinting with triumph. But I knew something she didn't. I'd spent years navigating state property laws, securing permits for every inch of my holdings. My cabin was not only legal, it was my sanctuary. I invited her to check the records herself, but she laughed, dismissing me as a squatter. That's when I decided to fight back, not with shouts, but with the truth. The truth unfolded at the county office the next morning. I arrived with my deeds, permits, and a calm resolve. Karen was already there, schmoozing with a clerk, her voice dripping with fake charm. She'd spun a tale of me as a rogue outsider, building illegally to ruin Lakeview's aesthetic. The clerk, a nervous young man named Tim, looked overwhelmed as Karen gestured wildly. I handed him my documents, each one meticulously stamped and notarized. His eyes widened as he cross-checked the records. "Ma'am," he said to Karen, "this cabin is fully permitted. In fact, this gentleman owns 12 properties in the state, all compliant." Karen's face froze, her lips twitching like a glitching robot. Then, a twist. Tim revealed he'd grown up next to my cabin, fishing with his dad in the lake. He'd seen me build it, knew the care I'd poured into it. His quiet testimony shifted the room's energy. Karen's narrative was crumbling. The confrontation peaked that evening at a community meeting in Lakeview's rec hall. Karen, undeterred, had rallied her loyalists, a clique of neighbors who nodded at her every word. She stood at the podium, projecting photos of my cabin with captions like, "Illegal eyesore." Her voice boomed, accusing me of dodging laws to exploit the community. I stood up, my folder of documents in hand, and laid out the facts. My permits, my property rights, and the state's clear zoning allowances. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Then came the bombshell. I revealed Karen's own violation. She'd built an unpermitted gazebo on protected wetland behind her mansion, a fact I'd uncovered through a public records search. The room erupted. Neighbors who'd feared her turned, demanding answers. Karen stammered, her confidence evaporating as her own hypocrisy was exposed. Karen's downfall was swift and poetic. The county launched an investigation into her gazebo, finding not just one violation but a trail of others. Illegal tree removals, unreported renovations, even a forged permit signature. The HOA stripped her of her presidency, and fines piled up faster than her excuses. At her property, surveyors marked her gazebo for demolition, and I watched from my cabin's porch as she stood in her driveway, designer coat now rumpled, yelling at workers who ignored her. The woman who'd tried to erase my place in Lakeview was now the outcast. Neighbors whispered about her arrogance, her lies, and the irony that she'd targeted me, the one person with the legal firepower to expose her. Yet, I felt no glee, only a quiet relief that justice had spoken. In the end, my cabin stood untouched, its cedar walls glowing under the autumn sun. Lakeview began to heal, with neighbors like Tim stepping up to rebuild a community free of Karen's reign. Her downfall wasn't just a personal defeat, it was a reminder that truth and fairness can outlast even the loudest bullies. I still sit on my porch, sipping coffee, grateful for the peace I fought for. What do you think? When is it right to stand your ground? And when should we let go? Share your thoughts.